I am hoping that you can hear me now. Fingers crossed. You should now be able to hear me. I'm hoping. I am hoping. Can you hit Claire? Can you just type I can hear you if you can hear me, please? Thank you. This is because for the first time in weeks I didn't test my sound before I started, and the reason for that is when I test my sound it lets out a screech which is really painful to listen to, so hence I didn't. Excellent. Thank you, Claire. Thank you people. Okay, so I have deleted the first one. Hi Nora. I've deleted the first attempt because it clearly wasn't working. So we'll just be live a little late. I have got a coffee, I was saying. Oh, you gotta love a day, haven't you? When things, don't go right. So I was on a Zoom call last night with my upline and her direct team, and it was that moment that my internet Wi-Fi repeater decided it was going to play Silly Bees, and I kept dropping out. I ended up having to hardwire into the modem, but it took me about 20 minutes to work that one out, so that was just great. Anyway, do remember, if I'm going to do the housekeeping bit, so if you are watching at about 11 UK time on Tuesday the 14th of December, you will see there is a live button in the top right hand corner. If you comment, I can respond to your comments, and indeed generally do. If you can't see a live in the top right hand corner, you are watching the replay. Oh, I've just realised I've got the wrong information up now. Let me see if I can edit this while I'm going. That'll be interesting, won't it? Featuring, because I've got the wrong information. It's pulled through the old information, which is really unhelpful. If you do not already subscribe, you can do so by clicking the button in the bottom right hand corner. If you like what you see on this mad morning, please give me a thumbs up. I'm literally just hoping that I can amend while I'm recording. I don't know that I can, but it's worth a try. So let's copy that. It's sort of letting me. So let's see. Because what's up now is not right. Oh, please, come on. So anyway, let me know how things are with you while I'm just sorting this out. Let's put a Y on the end of shortly. It may not let me do this, but... So yes, what are you prepared for Christmas? Hands up who's not. That'll be me then. Yes, it's changed. So yes, who's prepared for Christmas? I'm not. This is as far as I've got. A piece of tinsel. That's it. That is it. Gosh, you're being very shy today, on a day where I'm really not sure that things are happening. Please let me know you're still there. I know it always takes a while. Hello, Jan from a Dull Weekly. Yes, I'm... Hello, Wendy from a Soggy Swansea. I have to say it's one of those really annoying days where it's not really raining, it's just damp in the atmosphere. You're just about ready, Claire. I haven't even sent my Christmas cards yet. I've sent my team Christmas cards. Those went yesterday, and I've got a little gift. So those of you who are on my team will be getting those soon, I hope. Anyway, I'm going to flip the camera down. As I say, do remember that if you like or sympathise with this appalling live this morning, do give me a thumbs up. I'm going to just confess something here. Filthy grid paper. And the reason for that is because we're going to get it even dirtier. So I wasn't going to put a clean piece of grid paper down just to make it really dirty. So, right, let me flip the camera down. There we go. So, as I say, we are using from the new catalogue, not done tree yet, won't be here over Christmas, Boris permitting. Yeah, snap. I never do the tree until, I might do it this coming weekend, but normally it's Christmas Eve. But like you, we're not around over Christmas, Boris permitting. So, yeah. I'm kind of cancelling as much as I can between now and Christmas to try not to catch anything. Anyway, butterflies and flowers layering decorative masks is what I'm looking at today. These will be in the new mini. Just want to grab a copy. That's the old catalogue. Let me just grab my copy of the new mini and let you know how expensive or rather cheap they are, because these, I love masks. I don't use them enough. But I do love a mask, and they are only £9.25 for 6. So really good value, and they are layering. So butterfly, obviously you can colour through, you can have an outline and an inner, which I love. Then we've got just sort of foliage strips, but curved. Then we've got this one, which is a nice floral background pattern. Then these are flowers, obviously. And this one layers with this one. So you can layer that up. And this layers with that. So you can do some layering, although saying that, these two and these two layer with each other as well. Hello, Jan from Florida. I hope you've got half decent weather. So this one layers a lot. This one you can add, if I get it the right way up. You can add. Well, you can add here, because this layers onto this, is what I'm trying to say. Lost your Christmas card list. Granddaughters did the tree and decorations. Lost the Christmas card list. Yeah, I know the feeling. They upgraded my Dymo software and half of my addresses disappeared. I am having to backfill. And a lot of those were for customers. So as I'm sending out the new catalogues this week, there's a lot of stuff going on having to be backfilled. And this floral background is the one I'm going to use today. Just saying. Pretty decent right now. It's 68 degrees. Very nice, comfortable, so long as it's not humid. I know humidity is a bit of a thing in Florida, but hopefully not too bad. Right, so I'm going to be doing embossing with, as in heat embossing, with my masks. So I've got sort of 3 projects. Oh, I need another one of those. Sort of 3 projects, 4 rather, to do. So the first one I'm going to do is going to use Night of Navy. I am going to need another scrap of paper, also known as a piece of A4. Sorry, something that I was supposed to be going to later on has been cancelled. I'm not surprised, but hey. Anyway, so I'm going to layer my mask over my piece of Night of Navy. I'm going to try and get it symmetrical. May not succeed, but I'm going to try. And then take a piece or 2 of washi tape. Can't decide whether to go square up there. No, I'm going to see if I can get it square in all directions. That's about square in all directions. So now this is going to be a twofer. So you will get 2 for the price of 1. So if I can get my washi tape to play, that would be nice. So you can use masking tape if you don't have washi tape, repositionable tape, anything like that will work perfectly. You then want a reasonably juicy, but not too madly juicy. Oh, I know what I should have done. Excuse me, let me just do something, because I forgot. What I need to do is to put some embossing buddy on my card, because the whole point of this is that we only want embossing powder where we want embossing powder. Duh! Don't you love it? Right, so let's pull all of that off and pop it back down. Like so. Also, I guess an evening in, that's actually quite nice. I might be able to catch up. Hello, Leslie. How's Pepper? He's doing okay, thank you, Jan. He's still got some stitches. Right, so I'm just taking my Versamark and squishing it through my mask, which is sort of working. I'm going to see if I can pull it a bit. So he had some of his stitches taken out at the vet's last week, and he was allowed out. And the first time he went out, he came back, and the stitches that had been taken out, the incision had opened up. So he wasn't allowed out after that for a while, because you kind of don't want your cat to have an open wound running around the district. So yes, but the histology has come back. They got a very good wide margin on the fungal infection, so that should be fine. And he doesn't have feline AIDS, which is even better, because if he had feline AIDS, he wouldn't be allowed out. And that is never a good thing. I've just realised that I was going to attach this to my grid paper so that my other piece of paper was clean. Oh dear Lord. You just can't make it up sometimes, can you? Okay, let's use this for my embossing paper. Right, so I'm going to peel this back or off. Embossing paper? I meant powder. I don't think Pepper actually realises he's lost an ear. And as Martin often says, he can't see himself in the mirror, so he can't see that he's lost an ear. But he's fine. He's fine. Right, okay, so pop those bits in the bin. And I want to keep that kind of as it is. And then let's take this and pop it on there. And then I can take my embossing powder, and I'm using copper embossing powder because I think copper and navy is a match made in heaven. So I'm going to sprinkle liberally my embossing powder on here. Now, I don't mind if some of this doesn't catch, because I don't mind if it's a not completely all over pattern, although it seems to be not bad. Of course, what I don't have is anything to hold on to, because it's all over the back. Right. or rather the front. Why am I saying back? I've lost words, just saying. Hello, Helen from Michigan. Right, so let's pop this back into my little tub. And this is one of those smallish, really useful boxes, because it clips nicely tight, closed. Right, so I'm going to heat emboss. Obviously I can't clip this under the clipper because it's got embossing, whoops, it's got embossing powder almost everywhere apart from where I scooched it off. Right, so heat up heat gun. And here we go. Sorry about the noise, but hey, bearing in mind that when we started we didn't have any noise. Whoops. Right, there we go. So, and for those of you who wonder why I use this, this is why I use this. A, it protects my work surface, but look, it's basically flat. Even though we've had heat all over it, it's basically flat. So it does help to keep your thing flat. Right, so that's done. I'm going to pop that to one side and bring in my cut and emboss. So, cut and emboss. And standard base plate. So we've got the base platform, the thin die adapter, a cutting plate and a second cutting plate, and a piece of Night of Navy, what's the word I'm looking for? Card, that's the word I'm looking for. I'm just looking for another piece of scrap paper, also known as the back of a shipping thing. Embossing buddy. My mask that is currently covered in Versamark. Let me get this further in so you can see it, hopefully. Now, I'm not going to be able to be quite as accurate with how I pop this, but top plate and wind it through. Like that. And not only does it emboss, as in emboss, it makes it three-dimensional, it also transfers the ink. Let me just pop that to one side. There's going to be an almighty crash in a moment when everything decides to descend. I've got a bit of a Leaning Tower of Pisa going on. So, more embossing powder. Of course, I did do embossing, buddy, that's all right. Now, you don't have to put it everywhere. So this time I probably won't. I'm just going to concentrate on the middle. And although it's ended up pretty much everywhere, that's fine. And put that back in there. Bring in my cheese board. Close that up. Now it's in most places. If you want to remove some, where's my good brush? There's my good brush. So you can remove some. So I'm going to, just to show you that you can. So I'm going to not have it everywhere. So just brush it off. And you'll still get the watermark look because it's obviously got the Versamark. Oh, no, I want that. It's not a good day for me today. My brain is not working properly for some reason. Right. Didn't get very good night's sleep last night. Okay, so here we go. So let me grab the first one. So these are the two. So one pass of Versamark. Morning, Bee. One pass of Versamark and you can get two backgrounds. So now we need to make them into a card or two. Now, sometimes I like to just trim things down a little bit if they're a bit mucky at the edges, but I think they're all right. I'm just going to grab one more thing, if I can find it reasonably quickly, which is probably going to be no. Honeybee, there we are. Right, so again, this is from the new catalogue, ironed. We've got a die that says thanks. We've got one that says amazing. And it says you are as well, but I'm going to go for thanks and amazing. Ironed. Foils, where is my cutter foil? There's my cutter foil. do. So copper foil. One of them I think I might put a Night of Navy background on as well. What I am going to do is grab some adhesive sheet. I thought I had one open. That's because I do, but it's not got much left in it. Right, so we'll do one of these. I love these. Love, love, love. You love the dies. I know, Rebecca. It's just, oh. I love word dies. Just saying. Right, so to use this, the easiest thing I find is they've got 2-inch strips. They're 6 by 12. Why is that lifted off? Oh, this is reversed. Oh, that's odd. Okay, so normally the sticky is on the big sheet and the non-sticky is on the small sheet. This seems to be reversed for some reason, but it's fine. So I'm going to peel back. That's weird. But it'll work just as well. And then you put this face up. And I like to have it so there's a little bit of a margin. And then just rub the seal, as it were. And then from the reverse, I like to just cut and there we go. So that's waste, and that can be used for other projects. So this is now sticky back, which makes die cutting a whole lot easier. Now, when I'm using foil and die cuts, I tend to cut the foil to the right size because, or as near to the right size as you can, the foil will pick up every little lump and bump from your cutting plates. So I tend to be a little cautious and cut it narrow. So, got my mini cut and emboss this time. So that's amazing. And this is thanks. And those can go through together at the same time. So yes, if I was putting in a large piece of foil, I could end up with the unused piece being not so nice and smooth anymore. Hopefully I will be able to show you that on... no, it's gone through really nicely, inevitably. Right, actually I'm not going to put that away because I want a scrap of Night of Navy, because for one of them I want a background, because on one of them it looks, I'm not convinced it's going to look obvious enough. I know what I mean. So let's see. So we can just undo that. So that I'm not sure is going to show up well enough. Let's see if it will with this one, or with this background. Now obviously there's bits that need to be taken out. Yeah, no, I think I might go navy on both of them. So thanks and amazing. And this time I'm not going to use a sticky sheet because these are nice and big really, so I can just put glue on the back, and they both fit really nicely on this piece of card. So it's almost like it was meant to be. I am going to come back just to make sure that they are well and truly die cut, only because putting two very close together does alter the pressure a little bit. So that's those. Let's get that to one side. Bring these in. So let's start with thanks. And my tweezers. Just be careful when you do that you don't rip your die cut, because they are a little delicate. So I like to hold the middle, but prep the end. So I like to do one end and then the other end, on the premise that if you get the ends in the right place, everything else should, if you haven't stuck your tweezers to it, fall into place. There we are. And then I like to just get my bone folder and give it a good press from the back. If you're in the UK and you are not a demonstrator, bone folder is what I am giving away this month if you place a qualifying order. So that's thanks. Let's do amazing. Same idea. This is a very, very delicate die because there's lots of narrow bits, so do be very careful when you remove your backing. And end up sticking to your die or die cut. And again, I'm going to not use my tweezers this time. So if I get my A and the beginning of my M in place, and then get my G and the end of my N in place. Can you see it's all a bit higgledy-piggledy? But because we've got the ends in place, if you just press very gently, everything else should, if you just encourage it, should just fall into place, and you get it with a nice shadow. And again, I'm just going to press on the back. Just be careful that you don't rip. You want a gentle bit of pressure. Like that. So the question is, do I go there or there? So I think I'm going to go that way round. So let's clear the decks a bit. And we don't have any Night of Navy ribbon, which is a little disappointing, but it's fine. So I had card bases. I know I did because I put them here. Oh, card base. Here's a card base anyway, and I know where there's another card base. So I'm just going white for my card base because there's a lot of detail, so you don't really need much more. So I am going to use a reasonable amount of Tombow, because although this is really quite flat, because I used my cheese board, it could still do with a little bit of help. So I want the reason I've turned it over is because this side is slightly longer than the other, and as I haven't actually got any glue onto the other side. So that's one on. Let's get the other one on and then decide where we're going from there. And again, I'm going to use a reasonable amount of glue because it is flat, but it could do with a little bit more assistance in being totally flat. And then press from the back. You're less likely to scooch things if you press from the back. You don't want to scooch things. By that I mean you don't want this to fly off because there's glue, and glue is slippy. Right, so I'm thinking going to raise it up. I think I'm going to raise both of them up, and I'm going to do it with black because navy blue is dark and therefore dark is good. You do not need dozens and dozens of dimensionals. That's probably enough. Ooh, I wonder if I've got, I wonder if I have got to hand any, oh no, they're black, I don't want black. Right. And I'm deliberately coming off the edge. And then this one. So basically I'm putting a mini dimensional anywhere where the gap is big enough to put a mini dimensional. If you want to add them in smaller places, you can just use an edge piece. But these are not structural, they are only holding something in place. So I don't think it's too much of a thing. Oh, I know what I must remind you to do. If you don't already, do remember to sign up for my newsletter. You can do that on my blog. Anywhere on any of my blog posts have got at the very bottom of the post the form for signing up to my newsletter. I send roughly one a week. I've been a bit slow this month because there's been quite a lot on. So there we go. Those are my two cards. I'm going to do one. The amazing is amazingly crooked. Anyway, so those are those two cards. I am going to do one more background and then I'll leave it. I'll make a card and put it on my website. But I just want to show you a different look. And this time I'm using white, and I am going to use the same Hujama flip, and this is what I meant to do the first time round. I meant to use the backing paper, I mean the grid paper as my backing, which is why I left dirty backing paper. So we all know that, I've done it again, haven't I? I've done it again. Excuse me. Let me just throw my embossing buddy around. Ooh, actually, I've had a change of mind, which is probably just as well. So I'm going to take that off and clean that up. It'll clean up with just a baby wipe, or you can run it under a tap, something like that. So let me grab, not that one, not that one. Let's just take the whole lot out and it'll be so much easier to find that one. So this is going to need some careful positioning. Actually, I'm going to go that way for this one. And work. Just saying. Now I'm going to get a sponge dauber for this. This is very old washi tape, so it's not coming off in a nice strip, which is very annoying when you're on camera. Just saying. Right, sponge dauber. Right, okay, so with my Versamark, I am going to scooch up some of the stuff that's around the edge. So I am going to Versamark my big butterfly. I love a juicy Versamark ink pad. I was very rash. I bought myself a new one because I haven't had a new one since time began. So I thought I would buy myself a new one, and it's quite interesting. It is a lot inkier than I had expected it to be, which tends to make me feel that I hadn't been inking up my original Versamark sufficiently. Right, so let's lift that up and take it away. Bring in this, and you're going to think I have lost the plot. My black embossing powder. Dimensional backing on the back. Right, so it's still a bit, I've got bits where I don't really want them, but that's fine. So let's pop the lid on there. Get rid of that. Grab my nice soft brush and get rid of the bits I don't want. As much as possible, and grab the trusty cheese board, which this time I can clip. So, gosh, you're being so quiet. You're enthralled, fair enough. Right, so we've got a nice silhouette of a butterfly. Nice and shiny and very obvious. Gosh, there's going to be a Craftermath picture coming, I can tell you that, because it looks like a bomb has landed. Absorbing. Right, so this then goes over the top. Probably best, if you weren't doing it live on YouTube, to clean first. Just saying. So this is a bit bouncier than I would really like it to be. Let's see if I can flatten it out a bit. Not really. Okay. So then come back in with your sponge dauber and the other bit of the mask. So this is where the layering comes in. It's not as easy to see if you've added Versamark everywhere you want it when you're going onto an embossed surface, but it should be fine. Right, now if you do struggle with being able to see it, you could use the white craft ink, because that will also work with embossing. I'm going to go silver because I can. Remove that. Drop it on the floor, always a useful spot. And oops, everything flying everywhere. Reasonably okay. Right, lid. That could have gone back in the pot, but never mind. That needs to go there. Need that back in. Now you do want your heat gun reasonably hot. Hello, Brenton. Leslie's filling up crackers. She's been making some amazing crackers. And there you go, one two-tone embossed butterfly. Now I have used deliberately dramatic colouring, as in black and silver. What you don't want to do is overheat, because then you'll melt the black and it'll all go bloop. Thank you, Brenton. So that is that. I might, where are we, 5 minutes? Let me see if I've got a base I can put it on that's chronological. No, of course not. Why would I have a... Ooh, I can use that though. Right, okay. So, white. Thick white is what I need. So I'm going to do this, obviously, you know, the other way. So to make my card base, let's get rid of that for a start. I'm going to make this a top folding landscape. So 2 cards for 2 cuts, or 1 cut and 1 thing. This I'm going to trim down. I'm going to take 1/4 of an inch off. So 1/4 of an inch on one side and 1/8 on each of 2, because it was reasonably symmetrical, which is of itself a miracle. And then that's going to go on there. Now this will need quite a lot of adhesive. I do not like using liquid glue on white card. It tends to bubble a bit. So I'm going to use quite a lot of seal. And I know I'm not going all the way to the edges. I will be coming back in to do some of this. So I should end up with about 1/8 of an inch around the edges. It's reasonably straight. And again, I'm going to press from the back. Thank you, Brenton. So it's still a little wobbly. I mean, it's the black is now a little wobbly, but it's good. It's good. It's fine. And I'm just wondering if I could use some of those. Oh, I don't have very. Oh, that's what I was really looking for. There are also these, which are different sizes, although those are different sizes as well. Ooh, no. I'm going to go with my first thought. This really is going to be a craft aftermath. My desk is like a bomb has landed. Right, so I'm not going to bother with a sentiment, because you don't always have to. Actually, that would be quite nice with... because they always have blobs on the end, don't they? So let's give it a blob on the end. I'm ignoring those from my numbers. You know me, I like my odd numbers. Although I'm still going to have odd numbers. Ish. So. And then, oh, the sun's coming out. Woohoo! Is the sun coming out in weekly, Jan? Mine was today. You've lost me, Brenton. Yes, I had sorry, Barbara, I had a bit of a false start. I will be changing the picture. Yeah, let's just not go there. No sound, basically. So I had to stop and start again, but all the settings that I had put in reverted to the settings for last time. So there we go. That is the other card. Let me bring back in the two we made earlier. Clear the decks a little bit. So those were the two using the positive and the negative. This is just using the layering. Oh, your desk was a mess today too. Right, I'm with you. Yeah, I mean, it's just awful. I cleared it yesterday. But hey, I'm making customer Christmas cards. It's just an explosion. And I've got to get catalogues out. It's just, anyway. So yes, so we've got this one using the butterfly, the two butterfly masks and some matte black dots. This is the positive of one of the other masks. These are from the new mini that will be launching on the 4th of January. And then this is the negative, which I ran through the embossing folder. I can't hide. You can't hide. Thank you, Barbara. Oh, thank you, Lorna. So yes, so this is the negative. So if you are using Versamark, actually if you're using any ink straight through, I would still run it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss, because you'll get a negative again. And then the die cuts also from the mini. Thank you, Brenton. I love layering up embossing powders. I mean, you can be a bit more random. One of my team, Barbara in Germany, showed us embossing with just dropping little bits in. You can get a really nice snow effect. So, yeah. And Nora loves the butterfly as well. Obviously, that one is the hit. So, I'm going to flip the camera back up. And try and remember that the camera is flipped up. Where are we? There we are. Small webcam. Stand up, then you can see me. So thank you very much. If you have enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. It really does make a difference to the YouTube algorithm. And I am slowly crawling my way towards 10,000 subscribers, which I would love to have. Yeah, do try it, Brenton. It's really, I think it will work with the flowers as well. But the butterfly was just an easier one. Thank you, Jan. So yes, do remember to give me a thumbs up. If you don't already subscribe, it is in the, have to work this out, bottom left-hand corner. I know I say this every time, it's really weird having to point the wrong way. If you are watching live, it will say live in the top. If you are not watching live, do leave a comment below the description bar if you've got anything you would like to share, and I will get back to you in the next few days. I have scheduled events for my Tuesdays and Thursdays through to the end of January. I am not taking a break over Christmas, but they may be a little shorter, just so you know what to expect. Thank you, Bea. So I hope you have a wonderful day, afternoon, evening, morning. I will be back again on Thursday at 3 p.m. UK time for more fun. I might do something Christmassy on Thursday, something that you can do regardless of what supplies pretty much regardless of what supplies you've got, just to use some bits up. If you've got any questions or comments, leave those below and I will get back to you. Other than that, have a fantastic day. Thank you very much for bearing with me with the slight technical issues today, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. That hand. Bye!